last time I'm going to be on the stage this week. I'm feeling a little sentimental, a little misty. Well, I'm here to divulge quite possibly the worst kept secret in Fantastic Pets history. We're going to be watching The City of Ember this evening. It's true. It's true. I do believe we have a special guest. We have the director of the film, Mr. Gil Keenan. I believe he's here. And if I'm not mistaken, Gil brought a buddy of his to also help introduce the film. So come on up, Gil. Very nice to see you, my man. How you doing?
Really good. Hi, everyone. It's really great to be here. I'm going to try to speak for only 3 sentences, so wave at me if it goes past 2. So I just wanted to say that I'm incredibly honored to be able to premiere what is essentially the finished film here for the first time in front of a live audience. And I couldn't imagine a better group of people to screen this film for. I want to thank Tim and Harry and the rest of the people I've met in the last couple of days. I just want to say that, this thing's been, it's been an interesting ride, making a post-apocalyptic underground children's film, is filled with a whole bunch of interesting challenges. And to help me meet those challenges, I had to get someone who could help me run this town with with an interesting gravity. And to do that, I found one man who I'd like to bring out here, if you wouldn't mind. I'd like to bring out the esteemed mayor
Ready for some Benatar.
Yes.
Well, it's very nice to be here. I've heard about this place where you can come and eat and drink in a movie theater while watching it, and I'm glad there's a place that allows it. Because I've been doing it for a long while. My favorite was bringing Chinese into a movie theater in San Francisco, and within like 90 seconds, the whole theater's going, who's got the Chinese? And it just took over the whole place. So I don't know what you're serving here tonight, but I guess I'll find out as soon as the packages are opened up.
You just do a dump, like tell people not to talk during the movie since we got that part out of the way?
Yeah, if you're going to talk during the movies, talk to yourself silently. Try to imagine that you're talking to yourself. There are theaters that people go to for horror movies where people say, get him. I just remember Chris Guest telling me a long time ago that he used to go uptown in New York and he saw Jaws, and the people in the audience were rooting for the shark. He was like, get him, Jaws, get him. But I think talking in the movie theater, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're commenting on the movie, I remember once going to a play, and this sort of famous actress was in it, and I brought this neighbor kid of mine with it. And during it, the woman had this speech about having something like cervical cancer or something. And for some reason, this kid in the front row, the kid I brought, started laughing. He just started laughing. And after the show, I saw her and I said, I'm sorry, this is the knucklehead who was laughing at the cervical cancer joke, And she said, well, what we're looking for is a reaction. We're looking for a response. And I've never forgotten that. I thought it was so, beyond whatever I think. I'm looking for one kind of response usually, but any response at all is acceptable. So if you're talking about the movie, I think that's okay.
I think the one thing that I hope you noticed was how good the costumes were. I think these are the greatest costumes I've ever been involved with in a film. I thought they were just spectacular. Every single one was beautiful. The only costumes I ever really liked in a movie were in Marty's movie about the Lower East Side. What's that called? Help me.
In New York?
Huh? Gangs of New York. I thought those costumes were really original, and and they didn't even win any prizes. They always give the prize to the one that looks the most like the drawing in the book. And those were completely original, and I think these were really original and beautiful. And I hope that someone recognizes her work and
It's Ruth Myers.
and Ruth Myers and gives her more work.
Here, I had to ask, but I read about this a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to know how Bill felt about the possibility of strapping on another proton pack and kicking some ghost ass.
Well, I think the wounds from Ghostbusters 2 have healed. And supposedly they've hired 2 guys from The Office to write a script. So that could work. I think that's a good idea to get a fresh look at it. I mean, I always like the characters. Characters are funny. And we did have a lot of fun making the movie. The first one was really a lot of fun to make. And I really, I think the first 45 minutes of Ghostbusters, or 40 minutes, is about as funny as the movie gets. And it didn't have a lot of special effects in it. It was just a couple. It was just the funny characters in that world, and I liked that movie because of it. I think the first movie had something like 60, plate shots or something like that. The second one had hundreds. The specials guys got their hands on the script early, and it was just gone. It went away. The script went away. And it was hard to wrangle because it was, it was tied all around the effects without the story coming first or the characters moving through it. So, they're hard movies to write. And Dan really caught it with that first one. I mean, he really caught it. And it's fun. Characters are fun to do. We did the video game this summer, and it was fun to do it again. I found myself walking down Fifth Avenue singing the song. People were like, God, that guy's really full of himself.